no living being should ever eat.
Who are out here trying to do scientific research had set up scientific data on the edge of a bridge, and someone thought it would be a smart idea to come in and steal that scientific equipment. Don't do that. I know there's a lot of people watching, so I figured it'd be good to just come on here and say, I know these things might be cool and you might be trying to replicate something like this yourself, but don't go steal other people's scientific data. That's not something that we should be doing, and that's something that should be very, very discouraged within the community.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't believe that that's a thing that's happening. I never thought we would have to worry about that, man. Jeez. Yeah. Those things are hard to make. They're very expensive. But it's not like they have high resale value. I don't know why anybody would steal them, you know what I mean? Go ahead, Elijah.
Hey Ryan, I have a crazy message here, I guess then. So, remember how Riley mentioned earlier there was like some NOAA network outage stuff? Yeah, well, the National Weather Service has actually now sent a message out relating to it. And I'm just going to read the message because it's pretty good. So, the slowness on the production of the NOAA Cactus supercomputer, this is the name of one of NOAA's supercomputers, I just learned that, has been traced to a major higher level network outage. They are making preparations to switch all of their stuff to their other supercomputer, which is named Dogwood.
All right. Thank you, Elijah. I don't know what that looks like, what the process of switching to another supercomputer looks like, but my goodness. Wow. I feel like a lot of unexpected things are happening today. I'm kind of in shock that we're dealing with people still in probes too. I'm still processing that. So I'll get to Dogwood in a minute. Yeah, I think we broke it. I think we were polling. I think too many people. We broke YouTube chat already today. We broke something else. I already forgot what it was, and now everybody's going and downloading Radar Omega, loading the satellite from the API. Crash the supercomputer. You guys need to calm down. Go ahead, Andy.
Hey Ryan, nothing interesting lately on the tornado side of things here, just watching the radar continuously. We've got that huge fan coming, I'm sure with those heavy winds. I think with that eye wall, that's a pretty large eye wall, where you see the orange and reds on reflectivity right near me. Those will efficiently bring back down the most interesting thing we'll see from this hurricane in the next hour, I guess. But just a subtle reminder that tornado watch is, they do have pretty high odds, and I confirmed it was the same odds for the tornado watch that produced many tornadoes from Hurricane Beryl back in early July, or late July, or sometime in July. It was early July, I remember it now. It stuck out in my head. But they do have the same exact odds on this tornado watch, and it does extend for another 7.5 hours. The most interesting thing I could find dealing with that is actually due south of Mobile, Alabama, well offshore. There's probably a storm producing a waterspout there. Looks like some pretty tight rotation is kicked up. So still watching the radar, but not seeing anything tornadic right now on land. So We'll still be here, but in case people in chat ask about me, yeah, that's the reason why. If I'm not saying anything, then we don't have much going on in terms of the spinny storms in the atmosphere.
Yeah, thank you so much, meteorologist Andy Hill. Nothing spinning too intensely just yet, other than the hurricane. So I'm sure we'll hear a lot more from Andy as time goes on. This is probably about 30 minutes away from being in places that we've been talking about a lot today, like Homa. Brett Adair's kind of in the middle of it already, and you can see that things are getting pretty intense over there.
I'll reposition to the top of the hill, guys.
But he's somewhere near 4 Point, south of Duloc.
Bro, it's just out in it.
Terrio, something like that. Chandler's at 31, Cyclone Port. $131 or 31? Oh, LA. Oh, I see. If you're just now tuned in, we are experiencing Hurricane Francine together, along with our storm chasers here in Louisiana. We're watching a tornado threat that extends all the way up past New Orleans, up towards Gulfport, Mississippi. Currently, we have no tornado warnings. We have one flash flood warning associated with the hurricane. We have several hurricane warnings. For the next 30 minutes, our focus is going to be on extreme southern Louisiana, around Morgan City, Homa, Golden Meadow, and Grand Isle. That's where the hurricane's going to be happening. We're going to intermittently check on everybody else in the outer bands, and if there's something that happens in Idaho again, we'll go briefly look at that. But for everybody asking about Arkansas, Alabama, Tennessee, YouTube, I think YouTube allows you to scroll back. I did do a whole thing towards the beginning of this, going over the forecast and the trajectory of the storm and the future cast, whatever you want to call it. And we will do that again, but we're kind of locked in now as landfall is imminent with Hurricane Francine down here in Louisiana. I will go over the models and everything again at some point. I'm just not going to do it at this very moment. Go ahead, Riley.
Hey Ryan, so as I've been keeping an eye on the stream gauges here, I've been kind of keeping a tally of how much water we've seen displaced, and one of the stream gauges that I've been keeping an eye on is south of Homa, and that just had over 1 million gallons total of water displaced from the ocean onto land. So just to kind of give you an idea of how much water is actually coming to shore, we just crossed the 1 billion gallons displaced.
Wow. Wow. Thank you so much, Riley. So yeah, things are developing quite quickly here, and we're starting to see a lot more activity as well on all of our cameras. So I'm trying to keep it on the multi-view as much as possible. Michael, hey Ryan, what's it look like for Gulfport? Gulfport, you're about to get some heavy rain, lots of storms. You're in that tornado watch area. The strongest part of the storm won't be there until much later this evening, though. But from right now, for the foreseeable future, things are going to get slowly worse. Go ahead, Chris.
Hey, so we are still in New Orleans. We're just hanging around. It looks like if there's not already, I'd say there may be a water spout ongoing on Lake Pontchartrain, or it's close to it. We're going to try to get a few of them that way, but not going to promise much because it is torrential downpours here in New Orleans right now.
It's Chris Hall up there near New Orleans. Yeah, so the eye wall is now moving into the greater Homa area. Landfall is still a little ways out because the eye is so big. Reminder that there is an excessive risk or a risk for excessive rainfall that extends quite a bit inland. I'll show you what that looks like again. Because I just every time I look at chat, somebody is in Tennessee, and they're like, why is he not talking to me? The Tennessee is far displaced from any of the major impacts that will come from this storm. That's why we're not talking about Tennessee. However, you've seen the cone. You've seen the cone. It goes up to Tennessee. What Francine will bring to Tennessee and all of the areas that are not southern Louisiana and Mississippi is rain, essentially. Heavy rain, maybe some flash flooding over the next 3 days. Anywhere from, Tallahassee, Florida, up past Birmingham, not quite to Nashville, but up to the boot heel of Missouri, all the way down the Mississippi River, back down to where we're focused on right now. Jack says, I just added a new, oh yeah, that's another thing you'll notice if you get Radar Omega. Even the radar won't look like mine right off the bat because I've customized it. It's a Viper HD color table. It's the one I use. It's in our Discord server. We need, you know what, Radar Omega, if you guys are watching, we need to make a y'all package to where if you download Radar Omega from like a certain link, it has all of this stuff, like it has my map style, and it has my color table, and it has the way that we color warnings, because that's the way people are used to it. It's going to feel foreign to them. If you know what I mean, I think that's a good idea. We should do that. So when somebody downloads it, it looks exactly like what they're used to seeing on my screen. Why haven't we done that? That would probably be easy to do too.